Sunday morning. We're watching the. I just woke up to the Fabio Wardley card, and Liam Dillon's about to fight Pierce O'Leary. I just woke up, so the beginning of this stream, I apologize if I'm choppy. You guys are the first people I've spoken to today. So normally, before I do my live streams, I would have already coached. I would have already filmed something. So my brain would have been in that rhythm of talking. But I just woke up. I haven't even had coffee, so I'm drinking my coffee now. This is the co-main on the Fabio Wardley Justice Huni card. So I got some action on this fight. This is the co-main. Pierce O'Leary is a nice little prospect. He should win. He's $1.07. This is one of those feeder fights. The whole card, if you guys wanted like not a lot of juice, fights that were, pretty much gimme fights, this card, you had, Reese Edwards. We hit on Mike Perez. A lot of you guys were hesitant on that fight. That is going on in the Callum Simpson. I think he fought on the Callum Simpson card. He's a 40-year-old, 39-year-old Cuban who lives in Ireland. He won. We need Pierce O'Leary. And then on my breakdown, I told you guys and I analyzed it. I picked Justice Huni to beat Fabio Wardley, but on my ticket, my parlay, I just need one knockdown. So we need Pierce O'Leary to get the job done here. And I need one of the boys, either Wardley or Huni, to hit the canvas, and I win. So we'll see. Oh, good morning. Sunday morning, guys. Saturday night where you guys are. I'm live streaming from Sydney, Australia. Let me know how the parlay is going. I know a lot of us lost with our Joseph Hicks parlay. He was a big favorite, and Wendy Toussaint beat him up. But I got every week I do about 5 parlays. I got 4 still alive. So 2 of the 4 have O'Leary on it. We'll see what happens. I think I'm confident in Pierce O'Leary. He's a fun little prospect. Guys, wherever you are, could you like this video? Let me know where you're tuning in from. And let me know how the parlay is going if you put wagering on. How your weekend's going. Okay. It's raining there in Ipswich. Is the Mason fight formally Keyshawn? Yeah, Chassis. Keyshawn fight is gone. Abdullah Mason is headlining in Norfolk, Virginia against Jeremiah Nicotia. So yeah, we could talk about that too. That's not for a few hours. I just set my alarm here in Australia so I could watch the main event in England between Fabio Wardley and Justice Huni. It's the co-main. Yeah, Abdullah Mason, man, he's potential champion, future world champion. He's one of my favorite young fighters. 21 years old. And if you follow his career, he's from Northeast Ohio, knockout artist, has all the goods. Just so much to like about him. Happy that he's getting a headlining event, getting a main event on a top-ranked card. Against a tough guy. And Nakatila's a tough guy. We know he's been in there with Abdullah's heart. There's a lot about Abdullah you gotta like. Mason is a monster. I agree, Giuseppe. I really can't wait for the Wardley Huni fight. There we go. It's gonna be a banger. Adam, co-main's on right now. Chassis, I think he's gonna be ready for the moment. I really do. I think with his camp, you have a kid and a prospect and a talent like Abdullah, including his amateur career and what we've seen so far, he's been waiting for this moment. You know what I'm saying? This is what he's been bred for, this moment. He's an exciting guy. And you know what? I feel Keyshawn kind of let me down because I'm a Keyshawn fan too. During the before the weigh-in, we know Keyshawn missed weight. We know that Edwin De Los Santos didn't agree to do the fight. De Los Santos still got his purse. But before that, the Ring magazine put Abdullah and Keyshawn on the stage together, and they were kind of doing media. And Keyshawn had an opportunity to kind of like basically put his arm around him, sort of thing. And Keyshawn instead big brothered him and tried to bully him. And I thought Abdullah stood his ground. Fabio, 6-round knockout. I could see it happening. Guys, Justice is a great boxer. He's a big boy too. Huni's going to have a 20-pound weight advantage going into this fight. He's an amateur pedigree. Boss, the Mason prelims. Pull up, boy. Yeah, but I'm watching the UK. Come on. I'm watching the UK right now. We're going to go to the Mason prelims after this. But he let us both down. I was ready to see that fight. Yeah, Rich, for sure. Mason kept it classy for sure. And think about 48 hours ago where Keyshawn's the champion. He got his belt taken. But he was like 26 years old. I thought with another breakthrough performance, Keyshawn was about to break through to the mainstream superstar. You know, not just a boxing star, mainstream. And it's wild how just, you know, without even throwing a punch, how all of that could change. Let's watch the Wardley. Yeah. Adam, I got an international audience though, Adam. Pierce O'Leary, 16-0, 9 knockouts, Irish kid, great fun fighter. This is a fun fight. This is the co-main right now on Huni and Wardley. If you're watching it at home, you can sync up. Any you got, Adam, were you watching this whole card? Any upsets on this card? Because the only fights I took on my ticket were O'Leary and Wardley. There were a bunch of $4s and $6s. And in Australia, we call those feeder fights. Whenever your gym, you know, somebody from your gym has a main event. I didn't watch it. All right. Whenever somebody like Huni has a Wardley has a main event, you know, I'm sure there's a couple guys from his gym on this card who are supposed to get the victory. I'm excited about this heavyweight match coming up, mate, because I broke down the tape. I told you my prediction. I truly don't know which way it's going to go. No, I think Mason knocks Nekatili out. I think Raul. I think Abdullah knocks Jeremiah out. I do. I think he stops him. If you know, Mason always starts fast. He's always at a frenetic pace. He's always looking for the finish. He's an exciting guy. And I like how his style didn't change when he got dropped a couple fights ago. Because sometimes with young guys, ooh, O'Leary clipped him early. Some young guys get clipped and get that deer in the headlights look. Not Abdullah. Dude, O'Leary is a really like stout dude, man. I didn't expect him to be this big. Jesus. Nice little lead hook. They're fighting in the center. That's why I love the British fights. The UK fights are some of my favorite fights to watch because generally they fight the whole time in the center of the ring. It's a different style. Even at the domestic level, because I cover all the UK fights on my channel. I watch all the UK fights. I've been watching them for years. The guys from Dublin, the guys from Scotland. Dude, O'Leary has a beautiful check left hook. He's landed it twice already. And he does it from the split stance. And he uses that jab, that pawing jab, to set his opponent up. And then he just, right there. Nice check left hook. His opponent picked up on it, though. Already setting traps here. 90 seconds into the first round. Oh, nice body uppercut. I like O'Leary's bag. He's showing us his full range of his offensive tools. We'll see about that defense. I've actually never seen Pierce O'Leary fight live before. I'm impressed already. Guys, wherever you're tuning in, like the video. Let me know if you're watching live. This is the co-main event of Fabio Wardley, Justice Huni. We have a full day of boxing. After this, we got Virginia, top rank. And then we have Australia with Jaya Pataya and Japan with Nakatani versus Nishida. I covered all these fights on the channel this week. If you're new to my channel, I say thank you. What's up, GOAT? Is Gary live right now? I should start texting Gary 3D Boxing before I go live so we don't kind of, you know, I got to start communicating. But it's my Sunday morning. It's the co-main for Huni and Wardley. On my ticket, I got a nice parlay working, like I said. I need O'Leary money line, and then I need one knockdown. Come on, guys. We can see at least one guy hitting the canvas in Huni versus Wardley, right? During the week, I gave you guys my analysis and prediction. I think Huni's going to win, but my bet is I need one guy to hit the canvas, so I got to be clear on that. And I'll show you my receipts like I always do. No, I don't think Gary's all right, perfect. He's probably on his way to Scope. Yeah. Gary's actually in Virginia. Salute Johnny taking Mason. I like it more, the Prince. Over 3.5. And guys, that Mason fight, that's where everybody's kind of torn, is like when is that stoppage coming? You gotta feel comfortable picking that stoppage. when you have a prospect contender now, top 15 in the world. And now since Keyshawn stripped, you know, he's even elevated even more, man. I mean, it might not be too long that we see a 21-year-old, 22-year-old fight for a world title. And I got to say, I actually like how they've been progressing Abdullah. This is a good step up for Abdullah Mason. Jeremiah Nicotillo has been in there with some world champions. It's going to be a good step up. He's going to be bigger than Abdullah, too. Longer than him. It's going to be a good fight. We're going to see how he handles himself. I'd like to see throughout, you know, he's still young, him be a little bit more defensive-minded, but, mate, it's that offensive arsenal. He's a slugger. Yeah, it almost seems like he was preordained by Abdullah. Yeah, off topic of boxing. Any thoughts on Patchy? Yeah, Manny, I've watched Patchy's whole career in other organizations. He has a good test against him. Patchy's fighting. Let me just remind myself. Yeah, Mario Bautista, guys. You know, I write for MMA. Is your book offering this Suboy fight? No, I don't think so. Let me check. Mario Bautista's a tough out, man. That dude is gritty as nails. He's all action. We'll see Patchy. I think Patchy's a real deal. It's a tough fight to come in the UFC on. Mar, I'm bringing up my bets. I'm bringing up my options right now. I'll let you know. Give me a second. So you said, Goat, Johnny, did you catch the French? Yeah, I watched the Franchon Cruz fight, boy. Goat, I agree. A Mexican Olympian, she controlled the center. She controlled the pace. And at 37 years old with Durzon, Durzon Cruz, she was out 2 years. She smothered all of her work. I think she had a 5-inch reach advantage. I watched that whole card. That card, no offense to some of the guys, but that heavyweight fight was atrocious. No offense to the big boys, but that heavyweight fight. This is why I don't bet on domestic level heavyweights. I told you guys this before. I don't really mess with domestic heavyweights. And no offense to the ladies, I didn't bet on the Franchon Cruz fight. Even though she's a world champion, 37 years old, hadn't fought in 2 years. I don't mess with the, I don't mess with certain fight styles. I didn't mess. The Mexican girl won every round. Are you betting on the Ferreira today? It's on my card. I'm not betting on the Ferreira fight, but I have that fight pulled up. Yeah, she's a huge favorite. The last female fight I went heavy on was I picked Gabby Fundora to win by stoppage at $1.85, and I went heavy on that, and she won by stoppage. The fight was trash. Took Lozada yesterday. Stay away from Franchon. Yeah. You know what else was? I thought they were gonna rob Wendy Toussaint. So I was 19 out of 20 on my 20 leg. The only fight I lost yesterday was Joseph Higgs Jr. A decent little prospect. Zachary Scott, I appreciate the tips. Johnny, yesterday you talked about the long count Navarrete against Wilson. Yeah. What are some of the most blatant recent long counts for? I mean, in recent memory, Zach, I appreciate you tipping. Guys, whenever you support the channel, it means so much to me. This is a passion of mine, and you know boxing is mine as well. Some long counts. I mean, guys, we could go the ones in recent memory, Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. In terms of quick counts, for me, Joshua should have been knocked out 100%. Fury, 100%. Savannah Marshall's fighting Shadisha Green. Beatrice is locked. Yeah, Beatrice should win that. Zach, it went quick, but all those good points. The Fury Wilder for sure. We need to do something about that, don't you? With the advancements in AI, but weird tactic of yelling in his face like a mom. Yeah, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. Ramirez should have been rolled out for sure. Yeah, you're on point with these. I forgot about the Taylor Jose Ramirez fight. We should, with the advancements in AI and open scoring, some cards, some sports cards, some promotions do it. We should have something in there for the ref too, because you can't put it all on the ref because it's chaos and you can't predict the knockdown. So but I felt the Liam Wilson versus Emmanuel Navarrete count that looked intentional. Taking Taylor via decision against Serrano. Yeah, I saw they announced the MVP card, and we just got a girl from Australia, Shanika Johnson, Sugar Neeks. We covered her on the channel. She put her hand up late. She's stepping in for a world title fight against a very tough and gritty opponent. So I think she's gonna get outworked. I think Shanika Johnson's gonna be in over her head on that fight. But I don't have the Callum Simpson guys to answer your question. I want to see the Callum. If somebody's watching the Callum Simpson fight, keep us posted. Oh, the thing if you guys, I'm watching O'Leary and Dylan because I got Huni next. The thing I really like about O'Leary, like I talked about, is that lead hook. Oh, the boys are exchanging in the pocket now. But Zach, those counts work both ways. Those short counts, great point, and the slow counts and fast counts. Because some counts you're like, what? That was 10. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, damn, and then they call it off. But yeah, Wendy Toussaint. My point earlier, I gave Wendy Toussaint 8-2, maybe 9-1. You gonna be live? Yeah, I'm gonna stay live, Goat. I'm gonna stay live, and then I'm gonna take a break to get something to eat, and then I'm going to come back for the Norfolk, Virginia card. And then I'm going to go, oh! Big left hook by Leary. Hurt him to the body. Oh! Dylan lands a big shot. Dude, Dylan's tough as nails. O'Leary is breaking the kid. Fun fight if you're watching. Oh, nice body work by O'Leary. Oh, he got caught with a big uppercut. Dylan's a dog. Dude, these dudes are so tough. This is why I like the UK. This is why I like Brit boxing, dude, even though O'Leary's Irish. When I say British boxing, the UK, you know, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, the Welsh have good fighters. You don't see anyone really fighting on the back foot too often. You don't see a lot of perfect records. You just see two dudes, two dogs, who probably would be fighting in the backyard for peanuts if they couldn't get paid to do it. Maybe 5 years ago, I did a documentary. I talked about it on my live stream last night about bare knuckle boxing from Myanmar called Lethwei, to where it looks like Muay Thai, and you're allowed to headbutt. So it's boom, 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 and you're allowed to headbutt. Because of that journey of mine, I went down a rabbit hole of the beginnings of just bare knuckle boxing, and you know, I got into the travelers and the gypsies in the UK. And even to this day, how they travel in groups, and the baddest dude from this clan fights the baddest dude from this clan. It's awesome. It's a cool culture. Did you catch Reese? That's what I was asking, Manny. How did Reese Edwards do? How many picks do you have on the Mason fight card? I think I only see. Yeah, Pull Up Boy. That 20 pick is dead. That 20 pick is dead. We lost Joseph Hicks on the Abdullah Mason card, which I will be going live for. To answer your question, somebody asked me 10 minutes ago if I have I think Mar the Prince. Tomoya Suboy, yeah, is an option. $1 though. I might not put anything on a $2. I gotta have my limits, but please post it. Yeah, Pull Up Boy. Here we go. Keon Davis, not a lot of juice on that fight. $2. Keon should win. I like Troy Isley over at Tony William. I like Isley. I think I like Isley where he's at in his career. I'm comfortable with Isley. A lot of you guys like Boca Chica. I don't. I'm high on Tiger Johnson. Tiger Johnson's $1.25. I like Tiger Johnson. I think he's gonna look just like he looked last fight. My great grandfather was a bare knuckle traveling boxer. He was such Mike Ross. Could you, man? Awesome. XL, I appreciate you. Salute from Cali. Appreciate your work. Do you think this was a bad case of weight bullying? Keyshawn, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I don't. With Keyshawn, you know, the narrative that they're saying, they're spouting out is that, even Bomac said this, that they didn't want him to suffer through those last few pounds. But guys, we know that as fighters, it's those last few pounds that are toughest to get off. I agree. I think there's a place in the middle from the truth and the fairy tale regarding. I think that he did want to go to 140 after. I also think that his body is changing. Physicality. I also think that he didn't want to suffer. He didn't want to lose those pounds because those are the most brutal pounds. Do I think he intentionally did it to keep the weight on to protect himself from damage against De Los Santos? I don't. I don't think so. I don't. How do you feel about the weight bullying, Sam? I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of weight bullies. You know, I always side. I think, you know, when you look at Keyshawn's career, when you look at how big he is naturally, when you look at where he came from the amateur side, his pedigree. He's always done the thing. You know, he popped for weed, which I don't really say pop for weed. It's legal in most states. My point is, he comes from a background of discipline, of being organized, of having all of his boxes checked. That's the only way you could become a world champion at 26 years old. You have to have these things aligned. Now, I just think that it was one of those weight cuts where it was a brutal cut and he didn't want to suffer. I don't think he intentionally went into camp thinking that he was going to miss weight, lose his belt on the scales, pay a fine just for the sake of fighting Dos Santos. I don't think that. What's up, Landslide? Hope you're well. Wherever you guys are, like this video. Yeah, like if Keyshawn's not a domestic level fighter, he's world class. He's a champion. I think Keyshawn, yeah, so do I, Adam. I don't think we're going to see Keyshawn again at 35. I think he's going to go to 40. There's a lot of fun fights at 40 anyway. You know, when he was taught, we knew that he wasn't going to fight Shakur at 35. No unification fights there. I didn't like his comment, though, about not paying for the belt, with Morataya. When he was asked before the weigh-in controversy, he was like, because, guys, I think a lot of you guys do know this, but as a champion, as a major belt holder, IBF, WBA, WBC, and WBO, you have to pay for the belt. The only belt that's free is the ring. So whenever you see guys with the ring belt, that's the one that is given. You earn that one. You don't pay for it. All the other ones you pay fees for. So when Shakur said that he didn't want to pay for a belt to fight Morataya, then I'm thinking, so you're never going to unify? So you're basically saying, because the only way to unify is to pay for another belt. You know what I'm saying? That's when, like, you see, like, in Japan, you got Nakatani, you got Nishida tonight. You got one belt holder versus another belt holder. There's money that's being exchanged, and the winner keeps both belts. That's the definition of unifying. Keyshawn said he didn't. Yeah, Keyshawn did say that. And so when he said that, I'm like, all right, then that's sad. Nobody talked about it before because he said it before he missed weight. That bothered me. Nor Shakur, right? How much do the belt? Now, Mike, I don't know how much specifically the belts cost. I know it's not cheap, and I don't want to guess. I'm at a stage of the game in my life, ethically, on every level of my life. I'm not a guy who guesses or throws numbers out there for the sake of the narrative. So I don't know. Maybe you look it up. I don't know if that is public, but it's not cheap. It's not $500. I'm thinking. I think it's over like 10 grand. Johnny, seems like there's bad blood between Johnson and Boca Chica. I think there is. Panice Brewer said he wants it. I think there is. 3% sanctioning body. I think there is bad blood. I watched an interview Boca Chica gave. He's young too. He feels he's being overlooked. Dude, O'Leary's starting to get hit in this fight, by the way. Heard that Raymond Ford is fighting Kakache. That's a good fight. Does Calvin beat Albright today? A lot of boys are torn on that fight, Landslide. 3% for each belt. Somebody just said, Raymond Ford fighting Kakache. Sugar Nunez is the guy. We know about how Kakache fought Lee Wood and when he could have fought Nunez. Kakache vacated his belt to fight Lee Wood and to avoid Nunez, Sugar Nunez. Made more money fighting Lee Wood. I get all that. Kakache's in his mid-30s. I'm a big Kakache guy. And we know what Nunez just did. We just saw Nunez go to Japan. And Nunez's style, and he fought a really tough Rikishi. Rikishi was a tough guy. That was a fun fight. We covered it on the channel. What's up, Carlos Vargas? I appreciate it. I got the best supporters on YouTube. You boys are boxing heads. Let's get this. Let's get these likes up. It's the 5th round. Ball versus Goodman is official. Really? I didn't hear that. Nick Ball versus Goodman. Sam Goodman? Sammy Boy fights at 22, though. So Sammy's going up to 26? I don't like that fight for Goodman. I didn't hear that. Hearing rumors of Mason versus Noakes. That's the one, Mark. I don't know if many fight fans or regular fight fans stateside know who Noakes is. All right, thanks, guys, for liking it. Noakes versus Mason is I know they're both ranked high in the top 10 in the sanctioning bodies. Are you guys watching the Pierce O'Leary fight? It's round 5. It's turning into a dog fight. I think Pierce O'Leary is making it harder for him. Everyone else here getting all the best info and can't even it's all good, man. We're going to get the word out. I've only been doing these live streams for about a month. I think Kakashi might F around and beat Ford. Dude, I think Kakashi poses a lot of problems. And we got to remember, Raymond Ford, even though he's still kind of, he's not even reached his peak, we've kind of seen a tale of two careers in terms of his fight style. This version of Ford, he's a lot less, hesitant. He punches more. He sits down on his shots more. He's more aggressive. I think that we're going to see if that plays up against Kakashi. Sam Noakes is a beast, but he'll be caught by Mason. Noakes can't help himself. That's why, Mike, that's why I love that. Same with Abdullah, though. Yeah, same with Abdullah. Your point right there was spot on. Just looked into it. It does seem to be official either with Ball and Goodman announced. No shit. Guys, I just woke up. So literally, I set my alarm for 5:45 a.m. It's Sunday morning. And the first thing I did was put the TV on. So I didn't go to Ring. I didn't check any of the boxing sites. Sam Goodman and Nick Ball. That means Sam Goodman's is a 122 going to 126. Let's go, Huni. Guys, for my big parlay here, obviously I need Pierce O'Leary to finish the job. And on one ticket, I just need either Huni or Wardley to hit the canvas once. But, dude, they're going crazy in Ipswich. Are you watching this? It's raining, and the boys are mosh pitting. Dude, I'd love to see a fight in the UK. I want to see a stadium fight. Have any of you guys on the stream been to the UK to see a stadium fight? I've been to 2 stadium fights here in Australia. I was at UFC 193 when Ronda Rousey got knocked out against Holly Holm. That was at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. I was in the 4th row to that. That was insane. That was in 2015, I think. And then I was at Tim Tszyu versus Tony Harrison. That was a stadium fight here. Kudos Bank Arena. It was an arena fight. But some of these stadium fights in the UK, like we saw Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., that looked insane. Because in the UK, you mix the soccer, the football culture with the boxing culture, and there's a bridge there. There's movies about it, how like each soccer team. Oh, here they come. I missed a bunch of them. Here's likely to return Sims and Duarte, Chicago. I'd love to. I'm a Conwell guy. I've only been Shakur versus Harutinian, Books versus Karen. No shit. Boots versus Chukachin, 1 or 2. Goat. And boys, I apologize. There were some comments I didn't see. I was rooting for Keyshawn, but he damn near just yeah, he did, Carlos. He did piss the boxing world off. I think Mason might fight a cautious fight and goes to Carlos. I could see it happening, David. I don't see anything about cautious and Mason though. Carlos Benavidez is my. Yeah, there's a lot about David Benavidez. There's a lot to like, and I think sometimes we forget he's just now entering his physical prime. The rematch, nice. That was the better one. And I think a lot of people learned that Karen Chukachin is a tough out. He's a good boxer. He's really well-rounded. Awkward style Chukachin has, man. Herky-jerky, Mason over 3.5. From the stream, I think a lot of people are leaning that way, TB. TA3. A lot of people are leaning Mason over, but they're loving Mason with the stoppage. Nakatia, unlike Vasquez, guy who knocked down Mason, is huge. Yeah, he is big. He's kind of clumsy and chinny. Yeah, he's not dirt. I would think not. I got Duarte. Dude, Oscar's really improved a lot in the last few fights, especially since the Ryan fight. Oscar looks good. That was the co-upset was on. Nakatia's clumsy. Yeah, David. I just think Jeremiah, his feet, he doesn't have the best balance, and he's not. It almost looks like I don't want to say he's not resilient or chinny, but sometimes with that lack of balance, you question the durability of a guy. If a guy is already questionable, how they take a shot, and then you mix that with not really planning down or sitting down on your shots, I'm going to dump my whole savings account on Tank over Roach Carlos. You a wild man. Wild boy. I think Mason will attach. No, dude's. Yeah. Does Huni and Apataya fight? Yeah. Clumsy and chinny. You may be right. Yeah, Huni and Apataya. With the way the odds have Mason winning by stoppage, you would think it's a sure thing. Yeah, both from Queensland, Australia. Huni fights next. Apataya fights tonight. The odds on Jai getting a knockout is $1.02 against Scale. So you gotta pick around on the Apataya fight to get decent odds. As a fighter, your fight time being changed. Yeah, I agree. Mason's a pro. Sam Noakes or Abdullah. King Ty. It's a good fight to think about. It's a good fight to think about. Sam Noakes and Abdullah. Let me see what Abdullah looks like against Jeremiah, and we'll talk this week. You know, I don't like looking too far ahead. Did you guys see the weigh-ins with Huni and Wardley? At the weigh-ins, Huni weighed more than 20 pounds than Wardley. He's a thick boy, mate. The bone structure of some of these Aussies. Them Islander boys. Big boy. Huni looks focused. Wardley's a beast. It's going to be a fun fight. Over 3.5, under 10.5. Swindle, what's that pay? That looks like a nice bet. I'm high on both guys. 2-1. I like it. I like it. Swindle, what if you go Nakatani versus Nishida, one of the guys hitting the canvas? What does that pay? Like plus a half a knockdown. Huni's coming up next, Carlos. Because I think one of those guys are going to go to the ground. I think Nakatani's going to drop Nishida. At least in the next 20 minutes. Yeah, and there's no video footage of Scale being knocked down, even though Boxrick says he's been knocked. I know. Couldn't find any tape on him. Swindle, you thinking Mason goes over 2-12? I think that could be an early fight. Oh, this is where we overthink everything. Ugh. Over 3.5 is your book offer. Yeah, Angeletti right now is $1.13. Does anybody have the Callum Simpson card on? I don't have it on my book. Somebody asked about Reese Edwards. He won. My book says Callum Simpson's fight hasn't started yet. What I'm watching, and yes, go. He's going to be patient. This Pierce O'Leary versus Dylan fight. Dylan's been hurt a few times, but Pierce O'Leary's taking a lot of shots. Nakatu is a puncher, so there's no way I would bet on Apatai to knock that dude out and give up on bad odds. I don't think he will. You don't think Jai's going to knock that dude out? You think it's going to go the distance? The distance pays something ridiculous. If you think Jai's going to win on the cards, David, what's that pay? Something insane. I was looking at it last night. Because Jai's $1.02 to win by stoppage. All right, Dylan's looking ready to go now. All right, here we go. If you think Apatai is going to win on points, it's 9-1. Oh, you think it will? Yeah, of course. That's what I was thinking. I thought you knew something I didn't know. Yeah, win by stoppage is $1.06. It's not worth the risk. I agree. Unless you pick a round, and then which is insane. We're not, those more like kind of like casual gamblers. I've never been lucky with picking rounds. Maybe a margin. You could pick a margin, 1-4. I think if they let you. Because especially with no video footage, I know. I mean, he's one of these guys. If you watch the weigh-ins, who looks the part. He looks more like a bodybuilder than he looks like a boxer in terms of his, how he's built, his physique, his body composition. So I never trust boxers that are unknown who are built like bodybuilders. A lot of times these might just be fitness guys that got into boxing late. Yeah, Jai to win. It's by stoppage in round 1. Round 2 is 4-1. Round 3, 5-1. Round 4, 6-1. Round 5, 9-1. Yeah, he's real thick. But like when you look at the heavyweights and body composition, O'Leary's destroying. Yeah, the body work's amazing. It looks like Dylan's ready to go, but Dylan's super tough. And with that being said, O'Leary's taking shots that he shouldn't be taking. That's his fight style. He's up for it. I don't think that Dylan could hurt O'Leary. I think he found that out early, so he's taking shots. And we know body punchers, they put themselves at risk like no other. especially if you're not using lightning speed to hit the body. If you're trying to sit down on those body rips, you're going to be there to get hit. And yeah, O'Leary's body work is nice. We've seen him use both his backhand and his lead hand to go to the body. He looks soft though. Swindle. Who are we talking? Scale? Are we talking which fight? We got a couple things going on. Round one. Okay, yeah. So you're talking Apataya, his opponent. I think if you're really comfortable with it, maybe you should throw about 1,000 on Mason stopping and Apataya knocking out. David Easter, get after it. I did that yesterday with Josh Kelly. I went heavy on Kelly to win by stoppage at $1.85, and we hit. So like, there's people in the comments. I missed my 20-legger, but I put like $25 on a 20-leg, and those are just fun, right? But I went heavy on the $1.85, and no, those are the ones that don't get a lot of props. But yeah, I broke down the Josh Kelly tape, man. He was fighting an unknown Romanian guy, and if you know anything about Kelly, man, the dude got boxed. He has all the skills in the world. At 31 years old, I hope Wasserman moves him along. I hope Kelly gets a big fight. Too many corrupted files I see in the X-ray machine. Yeah. Round 8 out of 12. Bochek, look at the crap Bochek just did. Yeah, I only took Serhi to win by decision. I know it was at the time, it was a smart bet that you think that he's fighting a skinny Michael Fox. He should be able to get him out of there. Yeah, he should. But, when you look at Michael Fox, he's a coach. He's a smart guy, and he survived. And he started winning some moments of that fight. The thing is, and that's why we see styles make fights. Michael Fox did not give Bochek the fight Virgil did. Kelly wanted to fight yesterday. Hopefully they give him one more. I know. I hope Josh gets 2 more. The rumor is he's going to get 2 more. Kelly's going to get the winner of Zayas. I'd love to see that, Daniel. And I don't think a lot of the Americans judge Kelly on 2 fights. The Ray Robinson fight in, I think, 2019 when he went to the Garden and drew. And then, obviously, the David Avanesian fight. And, before he kind of adjusted his style. That Avanesian fight is when Kelly was still fighting kind of like a mix of, Emmanuel Augustus and Roy Jones. He was trying to do he still fights a little like that, but he used to waste a lot more energy looking flashy. He does a lot less of that now, and he learned that lesson through Avanesian. Because the first few rounds of that Avanesian fight, Kelly was looking good, and then Avanesian he weaponized his cardio and broke Kelly down and had him tired. And the last thing you want as a reflex fighter is to lose your cardio. And so he's made adjustments since then. He was doing it against David. I think that he cut to his head. He bled out too much and lost. Yeah, that was the case. Dude, Avanesian is a tough out. Even though, we lost. Every time Ava stepped up, he lost to Boots. He lost to Bud. But he's still a quality, fringe world level guy. I mean, he is world level. Maybe you don't call him world class. He fought Boots. He fought Bud. He beats a lot of guys throughout the world, at that level. Not anymore. When he was younger. He's up there now. He might be in his mid to late 30s now. But when he fought Kelly, he weaponized his cardio for sure. There's this one fight Abdullah Mason had, and I know it was a 6-rounder, but he went the distance with the guy, and the guy was a total bum. And guys, Abdullah is 21 years old. Far from a finished product. 21 years old. You learn a lot. And you progress fast when you're as good as Abdullah. So you got to take that, and that's why it's called betting and gambling. You got to weigh what you know and weigh what you see. Some bettors have a better eye at being able to, see things that some guys don't. All right, O'Leary just hurt. Dylan looks hurt to the body every time he throws. So that's why I'm not. Yeah, and that same could be said about it. There's about most fighters, actually. Surprised that Davis Albright odds were so thin. Thought they widened by now. You know what, Mar? I thought they would get closer, actually. But I'm still torn. I know Muscles was messaging me this morning. He's big on Nair. They think Albright's going to beat Kelvin. I took the over on the Mason fight. Is that Tito? Is that 6.5? My problem with betting on the Nahir Albright versus Kelvin fight is that Nahir fought at 135 and Kelvin fights at 47. I'm the kid and I've won a lot of money back personally. Lost him. David, yeah. David, I've talked to you for the last few weeks. You know what you're talking about. Willie Walker, the fight hasn't started yet. The co-main's still on. I'm going to look that guy up on BoxRec. Do it. Yeah, Willy Wonka. It's still the co-main between O'Leary and Dylan. Carlos, and I'm leaning towards Kelvin too. But you know, I watched Gary's breakdown on 3D boxing. Muscles was hitting me up, and they both like Albright for the upset. Bigger and younger and skilled. I think so too. Bigger, it's the size, and they're fighting at 140, so they're meeting in the middle. But I don't know if they have a rehydration clause because you see Kelvin's frame, and you see how long he is, and he's a dog too. You know, he's not as skilled as Keyshawn. He's probably the least skilled. It probably goes Keon, and then Kelvin. But I don't see a path. I think people are leaning on Nair Albright's resume and overall his sort of, you know, seasoning on his career. Like what? This is a good fight, guys. This O'Leary-Dillon fight. Even though O'Leary's winning every round, Dillon is there, though. Kelvin by decision. I think so, too, GOAT. Okay, El Gallo. And, yeah, that's why I'm staying away. Look, I might bet on it. I'll let you know last minute. So, guys, we got the co-main in the 9th round here. We have Fabio Wardley versus Huni next. After the Wardley-Huni fight, I'm going to go for a run. But then I'm going to come back live for the top rank card, the Abdullah card. So wherever you are, if you want to come back on, you're more than welcome. Guys, wherever you are, could you like this video? We've been averaging 28 to 50 people in the last 10 minutes. There's only 12 people who liked it, so just like it. Yeah, Kelvin is the worst 3 from all. And I'm trying to be diplomatic here because it's always the case with brothers. You know, think about the Vargas brothers. When you rate the Vargases, Amato, Emiliano, he's went to get stopped twice. Mason went the distance and lost 3 bands. I don't like how it's funny how the Vargas brothers are acting over the last 24 hours since Keyshawn missed weight. It's interesting to see it's fun as fans and analysts like we are and you know, really boxing nerds to watch the posturing of other fighters when another fighter is going through controversy. You see out the woodwork how some guys, sometimes it's this guy, sometimes it's this guy. They try to posture. Kelvin gets all the work from Keyshawn, which is top. Yes, and Carlos, and I expect Kelvin to get better, right? Agree, David. Even though Kelvin isn't the most talented, well, when I say acting, they're posturing for a fight. Did you see all the tweets back and forth? Emiliano has the highest ceiling, but the other 2 are average. Yeah, just go to the tweets. I think the kid could be a star. No, he's tough. He's tough as nails, Emiliano. I likely favor not here if the fight was held in neutral site. You got it, Mar. You got to take that in consideration too. You got a few things. You got where it's at. It's in Norfolk. We're talking about Nair versus Kelvin. You also got to think about, did Mark Jeffers lose to Sean Hemphill? You also got to think about Kelvin still one-upping his game. You got Kelvin's not a polished product by no means. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Kelvin to show things that we haven't seen yet. Yeah, whoever just asked about that fringe domestic level fight, Sean Hemphill won. He was a big dog. I stayed away from it. Emilio has that good pretty boy look. Marketable. His father was the same way. All right, this is round 10 in the co-main, guys. In that regard, very marketable. Hopefully, he keeps his. Hopefully, he has. It seems like the Vargas brothers listen to their pops, in terms of, you know, leadership and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think Garcia had so much hype coming out to amateurs in terms of future world title, future world champion. You know, you remove social media from the game and put Garcia in a different era. He's what is Garcia, a guy with a nice lead hook? I know you said you'd be watching who you got on the main event, Willy Wonka, and bring a lot of new fans to this. But yeah, there's the upside for sure. Willy Wonka, give me a second. The fight I'm looking most forward to is actually Joshua Van. He's a Burmese fighter from Myanmar that was raised in Texas. I'm high on Joshua Van. I think he's 22 years old. In the main event, O'Malley versus Merab. I think Merab. I don't see O'Malley's style beating the machine. I think Merab keeps the belt. I forgot about the UFC card. I got the shoot. Okay. Yeah. I just don't. I think Sean peaked maybe 2 years ago. I see Amelia been better than his pops. Well, that's gonna smash. But I'm comparing his market value. Yeah, business wise, I have a weird feeling about Abdullah will lose to Tony. I hedged my bet and took knock. Wow! Cut the creators throwing a curveball, guys. Cut the creators saying Mason's gonna lose. You never know. You know, if the odds are speaking to you, brother, let him speak. Cut creator, let him speak. We just had some of the boys took just now on the undercard of one of these fights. Hemphill was like a 10-1. He won. Merab will toy him again. I think so. Joshua Van, yeah, and Manny. I love Van's boxing and also Adrian Yanez. Two of my favorite guys in the UFC are like, you know, they're boxing. I like the strikers, but Adrian Yanez, man, when he broke out, he's also a Texas guy. I think he won his first 4 or 5 fights, all performance of the night bonuses, and then he got paired up in a really tough fight, and then kind of won one, lost one, won one, lost one. But Yanez is a fun guy to watch. And Joshua Van, I know he lost to Charles Johnson, my boy from St. Louis. Charles Johnson's a tough out for anyone, but Van, I think that might be Van's only loss as well. And Johnson's a 5'9" guy fighting at 125 with a crazy gas tank, crazy cardio. And I think Van maybe only had 2 or 3 fights in the UFC at the time. Well, yeah, guys, secret treat for it. After the main event here, I'm gonna go train, and then I'm coming back live for Top Rank. Yeah, I see Merab winning again as well. I actually might put some action on there. I think here's my UFC flash 5 wins. I got Merab winning, Kayla winning. I'm tempted on throwing money on Kelvin because I don't think Pfeiffer's all that. Adrian Yanez is so good back in the day. He's a dog too. Fight is so close. And Adrian's only 28, 29 too. He's not old. His boxing's so tight in the pocket. Yanez is here. Yeah, it's so nice. I was working with a record company in 2020. I was doing sports. I pitched to this record label in Sydney to do sports marketing, and they hired me on to manage marketing of UFC guys, and I actually managed Adrian Yanez, his commercial promotion side for a couple fights. Who's your best for Top Rank? O'Leary fight. GOAT, it's in round 11. I'm going with O'Malley. My picks for Top Rank fight, I'm going to post them here after the Huni fight. You guys should know by now. Let's go Huni. Let's go Kelvin. Kelvin's a 3-1 dog. Do I like Nate Diaz? I've been watching the UFC since day one, guys. Do I think Nate Diaz has good boxing? His boxing shit. No, it's weird how Joe Rogan says Nate Diaz is good boxing. Flat-footed. He just peppers, doesn't sit on anything. Am I a Nate Diaz fan? Hell yeah. Am I a Nick Diaz fan? Hell yeah. I'll never forget 2004 when a 20-year-old Robbie Lawler fought a 22-year-old Nick Diaz in the center of the ring. And Lawler, ruthless, one of my favorite guys of all time, and Nick knocked him out, starched him. And you see a 16-year-old Nate jump over the cage. So I've been a fan of the Diaz boys forever. But in terms of best boxing, that's Yanez right now. Like I said, and Van. I think those two guys have the best boxing. Nate's old school though. And Nate, Abdullah, and I think when Rogan would say Nate's boxing was the best, he's talking about MMA boxing, being able to blend it together. Because we know about his Caesar Gray. His black belt, I don't know if it was Cesar Gracie or Machado. I used to only focus on UFC, and I apologize if I got that wrong. Yeah, they have basic boxing. Yeah, no head movement, the feet. It was basic for the second level of MMA. MMA's evolved since Conor McGregor got there. Troy Isley's going to be sharp tonight. I got Isley winning. His opponent pulled out upsets Garcia Perez. I know. Savidra, we mentioned that too. It's going to be a fun fight. I think Isley's tough. He's a fun guy to watch. It's going to be a good fight. Ernesto Tito. Yeah, Tito Mercado's a fun guy too. I don't know if David, I don't know if I'm completely sold on Tito's well-roundedness though. I saw his last fight. He talks like he ticks the boxes on the marketing side, ticks the boxes on, what it looks like, what he says. You were froze for a minute. Am I still frozen? Am I good here? Or am I frozen? You think, yeah, Tension should win. Tension skill said Tension will win on points. He doesn't really, Tension comes from that kickboxing background, so he's not sitting on things. He's touching. And from a striking sport perspective, that's the thing. And this is my own experience sparring Muay Thai guys, sparring kickboxers, is that, yeah, good, is that kickboxers and Muay Thai fighters have to defend kicks. They have to check kicks. So they're never sitting on their hands. And so when you look at a guy like Tension, he's going to be skilled, sharp, 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 but he's not digging the heels in because it's not what he's trained for. So if you like Tension, pick him to win on a decision. You know, he's a volume guy. He's tapping, tapping, tapping. This is going in the last round, GOAT. And then we got Huni and our boy Fabio. I've been watching a lot of tape on Fabio. He's a character, man. He's a fun guy to watch, even though I took Huni. This is why you gotta love boxing. Boxing is filled with these sort of characters, mate. Wardley is a character. Especially when you hear his story. He was a recruiter. Isley, the new Tim Bradley. Not a bad comparison, man. Tim Bradley had a great career. We talk about how slow Matias, but Matias is still being... Yeah, David, Matias has an aura about him. What do the young kids say? Aura? Make sure you bet on Mix tonight. Hand history vault, man. Mario Batista's a dog. That's a tough fight for Patchy. Guys, that's not a gimme for Patchy, mate. If anything, the thing I give Patchy, the thing I side with Mix is when the lights are bright, the world level experience. He's been fighting for world titles in other promotions for the last 10 years, it seems. But Mario Batista's a dog. We keep talking about these guys coming up through Texas. Dude, look at his resume, dude, and look how he levels up. He does a lot of things really well, and he's mean in there. I'm high on Mario Batista. I think he beat my boy Ricky Simone. What's up, Mary? I must be disappointed in the unprofessional move from Keyshawn. Yeah, we agree. Keyshawn beat the brakes off of Matias. One-dimensional. Yeah. I want to see Keyshawn. This is me being selfish. I want to see Keyshawn go to 140 and fight GAR. That's what I want to see. What do you got? Who wins that fight? GAR or Keyshawn? Matias like a zombie. Yeah, Matias is one-dimensional. I think Alberto Puello is going to silence. I think he's fighting Puello coming up. How about them Pacers? Yeah, Gary's one of my favorite fighters, Badger. I just want to see where people stand with that. 50-50. Gary's a beast, mate. My favorite thing about this is going to sound kind of rudimentary, but when you watch Gary fight, if you watch the Russell family, the way their end swell they use, like I grew up with guys in my gym, the end swell would be a frozen spoon. Guys were so old school where they would take big tablespoons and leave them in ice, and in between rounds, press them here to, help with the swelling and inflammation. GAR's camp has a medieval mask. So if you watch closely in between rounds with GAR, they put a mask on him, and it's like this silver medieval. It's just fucking dope in my opinion. You ever think fighter would get knocked down in the war? Yeah, Willy Wonka. That's my bet, actually. I have a big parlay with one knockdown. Either guy. I need either Huni or Wardley to hit the canvas once, and I win my ticket. Yeah, Pierce O'Leary, I was watching GAR versus Puello like 2 days ago, and that was a tale of two fights. GAR started off looking really good. I think he underestimated Puello's ability to box, and then Puello started winning rounds mid to late and used that movement. Puello's a smooth operator, guys. Alberto Puello operates at a high level. I know a lot of people aren't sold because he's not a one-punch knockout guy. And in this day of going viral, they look past the guy who could box. But, I thought Sandor Martin won that fight. Gary and Keyshawn, 50-50. I thought Sandor Martin beat Puello, even though I picked Puello and won money on him. You guys would know what type of gambler I am. Even if my guy wins a robbery, I'll admit that he lost. Can get back in the ring soon. David, the problem with De Los Santos is that weight cut. Because he went through and thank God they paid him. So De Los Santos got his full fight purse. So De Los Santos got his fight purse, even though he didn't fight, and that weight cut is brutal. We saw how hard it was on his body. So he needs time. The saving grace is two things. He took no damage because he didn't fight, and he got paid. So for his recovery, it should be quicker than normal. I think realistically, what is it, June, July? Maybe we see him in September. But then that even pushes his almost 2 years, because when was the Shakur fight? November of 2023, I think he fought Shakur. There's a lot of things, but the saving grace, De Los Santos is 25 years old. Maybe De Los Santos would be, yeah. I think Edwin needs to move up too, for sure. And I don't know if it's like you could, when we talk about weight bullying, everyone is saying they should do Edwin versus Abdullah. No way, no one's saying that, bro. That's everyone. Devin looks drained. No one's saying they should do Edwin versus Abdullah. No, not yet. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nothing against Rayo, but after the Benavidez dad beef, look at Boots. Look, guys, we're talking now. Now we're getting in the realm of weight bullying and guys who cut too much. This isn't the fighter's fault. This is the system's fault. This is like, you know, what do you do then? Do you bring in more weight classes? Do you make it like, or do you bring in less weight classes? I mean, some would say there's too many in boxing. Some would say let's fight on, you know, fight at what you walk at. Some guys build careers on fighting what they walk at. In terms of durability, being able to take damage, you take more. But there's an argument against that as well. My thing is when you, I mean, do you remember when Conor was fighting at 45? I think that famous weigh-in when Conor fought Chad Mendes. He looked like he was on death's doorstep. What can you do to fix weight bullying? I know. Zert's got a prediction. I like Callum Simpson. I think Callum Simpson's world class. They all look what I know. I legit heard guys on TikTok say Edwin. No, I don't fuck with dude. Whoever's on TikTok, keep them on TikTok. No, you don't. The problem with you have to guide and ease Abdullah. You don't put him up against Edwin De Los Santos. His handlers wouldn't do that anyway. Frank Martin and De Los Santos. Yeah, Frank, where you been, Frank? If you make weight, then you could fight. Yeah. I know. It's an interesting. So my whole thing, guys, with the weight comes down to the dehydration and the brain injuries. So where I stand on that, Huni by decision, big plus money. Yeah, I'm taking Huni. I have two. I have Huni by decision, and then on a separate ticket, I have a knockdown parlay. Callum is talking about wanting to fight. Callum's a beast, dude. Callum's legit. I took the under. My whole thing with the weight cut, guys, is the dehydration and the damage to the brain and the, you know, long-lasting effects. Because, you know, you're not just losing water from your organs. You're losing water all around the brain. The brain has fluid that helps protect for trauma. There's so many things. Yenli Hernandez is a beast, dude. That was a terrible matchup. I went heavy on Yenli. I told you guys about that. I got a soft spot for Frank. Yeah, I like Frank. I want to see him fight. I like Frank's professionalism regarding he's always in shape, always in the gym. I like his mindset. You know, he's not one of these, his temperament. Frank seems like the dude in your friend group who's just chilling all the time. Like, he's just real chill. Yeah, so a lot of people like Frank. I think that's why he has a lot of fans. For a guy who didn't have a amateur career, yeah, Pierce, for sure. For a guy who didn't really have an amateur career, who started boxing late, who really isn't well-rounded, Frank Martin has done well for himself, guys. Plus the fact he got knocked out by Tank, went into hiding. Yeah, Pierce. We got the main event coming, guys. Wherever you are, like this video. We're about an hour into the stream. If this main event goes the whole way, or if it ends early, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go train, and then I'm going to be back for the top rank card, guys. So I'm going to also put my top rank parlay on our page. If Frank would have beaten Tank, I think, David, even though he got knocked out, wouldn't you agree, though, that, like, when I read the blogs in people's comment section on Instagram, I don't do TikTok, but on Instagram, I'm still kind of impressed how many people like Frank, which is a good thing. I think there's value to liking a Frank Martin, the Ghost, even though he took my boy's nickname. You see the magazine behind me? That's the real Ghost. That's Kelly Pavlik. There's only one Ghost. I know Guerrero had the nickname too, but Kelly had it first. But, you know, Frank could have it. He's doing the nickname decent. But he said he's not fighting at 35 again. He's fighting at 40. We'll see who he gets. Somebody brought up Tito Mercado. I want to see him fight more, too. There's a lot of guys. I want to see Jermaine Ortiz fight more. One of my favorite guys to watch. There's so many guys with their skill set. You add a little bit to their tool belt. Like, imagine if Jermaine had power or if Jermaine sat on shots. Some guys have no business being at the weight division there are. Benavidez, one. Dude, The David Benavidez chat. I know Goat loves Benavidez. I know Goat loves Benavidez, and I know a lot of people love Benavidez. I'm a Benavidez fan. I like their camp. You know, a prospect I've been interviewing on my channel since he's a teenager, Joseph Brown. I talked to Joseph. I'm friends with Joseph Brown's dad. Joseph Brown is a guy who, you know, born in Canada. He had his interviews are on my channel. You could go to the playlist section. And he goes from they drive from BC to, I think, is it Tacoma, Washington, to train up there? Was the weight bullying topic hot? No, it wasn't. It's only been hot in the last 5-10 years. Yeah, go. I feel you. I ended up taking 6.5 of Junto. I like it. What's the prop you advertise on the thumbnail? Clifton Dennis. So the prop, great question. I made that thumbnail last night. The Abdullah Mason prop. I think it's a knockdown prop. If you take Abdullah Mason by stoppage, you take this fight right now, Huni versus Wardley, at least one knockdown, and you take Nakatani versus Nishida, at least one knockdown. So Mason by stoppage, one knockdown in both the Huni fight and the Nakatani fight. That's the headline. Good way to hold me accountable. Vancouver, yeah. So Joseph Brown lives in Vancouver, BC. His nickname's the Prodigy. I think he's a 2-0 pro. He had something like a 78-0 amateur record in kickboxing and boxing. He goes to, they go to Washington, which is near there. I think that's where Diego Pacheco trains. And I know Joseph is affiliated with the money team in Vegas, but they do a lot of their training with Benavidez up there. But yeah, what I was talking about, there's a lot of fighters that, it's why when we see a guy with the full tool belt with power, speed, reflexes, durability, it's a rare thing. You know, you can't make a Shakur Stevenson who fights like Shakur and then also have one-punch knockout power. Those guys don't exist. You're welcome, Clifton. That you could take that. That's what I have that as a bet, Clifton. So we could lose that in this fight if this Huni fight goes the distance and nobody falls, I lose my bet. It might be worth hedging my bets. Somebody, what does that pay? Huni and Wardley to go the distance. All right. Money's coming back, dude. Last night, Wardley was $1.33. He's $1.45. I said that was going to happen, meaning money's coming in on Huni. How much of that, though, are the gamblers who have lost, and now they're trying to get on the dog? Whoa! James, is that Simpson got dropped? And I'm not trying to be insensitive. Did you say Callum Simpson got dropped in the first round? Amazing. All right, my two big parlays, I need one knockdown. And I took, yeah, you did say that would happen all week. Go, what did I miss? Sorry to repeat it. Simpson Zuko, are you talking about the Simpson Zuko fight? Yeah, I didn't break that fight down, but on paper I was looking at it. I thought Simpson would, in terms of what's at stake on that fight, you know, whoever wins that fight, if it's over, if Zuko won, he replaces Callum. Huni's walking out right now, guys. Hey, bro, have you ever been dropped before? Not trying to be, yeah, I have been dropped. I've been dropped once, and I'm not going to lie. 5 years ago, I'll never forget it. I was sparring during the pandemic. I was sparring, dude, 5 years ago, I was 38 years old. This is no shit. I was sparring a 51-year-old construction worker here in Sydney during the pandemic, and we're doing like 8 3-minute rounds with 20 seconds in between. And I'm just working on my defense. I'm moving. I'm clowning. I'm winning every round. My hands are down. I knew the dude, and as I'm circling left, it was the last 10 seconds of the last round. As I'm circling left, he throws a punch. Now, I learned an important lesson. He throws a punch that I would never throw in sparring. I never throw my right hooks in sparring, by the way. Especially if I'm sparring a guy that I know, which I only spar guys I know. I'm never walking someone down and throwing my right hook. I just don't throw that punch. Not in sparring. He throws it and catches me. I don't see the punch, and my body goes like a spring. I go like boom, and I pop straight back up. So it was like a flash. I see black, My knees get weak. I hit the ground. My gloves don't touch, and I jump right back up. And then I finish the round with the last 10 seconds. And then the guy I was sparring was shocked to finish the story. And it was definitely a concussion because I was depressed for like a week. All I could think about was the next week sparring him, and it never happened again. And I made adjustments, and I never showboated with my hands down again. That was the only time, even when I was a kid. Yeah, dude, even when I was a kid, I never got dropped. You know, as a 7-year-old, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, never really even been hit in street fights growing up in Youngstown, Ohio. The only punch I ever really was allowed to throw in street fights from my dad and my coach was my jab. So I always tell people, if you have to use a punch in a fight, throw that jab right here. Just sit on it. I ended so many bullshit altercations just throwing a jab, busting dudes' noses and teeth up. This is when I was young, not anymore. But yeah, that was the only time. Learned a lesson though. Never showboat against a construction guy. And Wardley's walking out. Wardley has the Wardley on. Let's go, Huni. Oh, dude. I love it. I love it. 270 for the fight. Patience, thank you for answering me. It might be something, sprinkle something on it. I think this fight ends early. I need one of the boys. The only thing that'll screw my parlay is if it's a corner stoppage. It's on you, Patience. It's on you, brother. Just got the bag with Hemphill. You picked Hemphill over Jeffers. Look at my man, Chinchilla. People were asking about that fight. I stayed away from it. Jeffers was $1.02. My boy's eating out here. That's insane. I didn't bet on this fight. I asked because fighters get trolled for getting dropped, but it can be argued that makes... Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people who troll fighters for getting dropped aren't boxers. So and they're not, they don't know the sport. Good luck, boys. Chinchilla, I went to college in Pittsburgh for 2 years. I don't know if we ever spoke about this. I lived on the south side slopes right off Carson Street, 2001 and 2002. I got Huni to box his way through and get it done. Yeah, I used to live right above Fatheads on Carson Street in Pittsburgh. Well, I was a young boy. I got a scholarship there to go to Pitt, and then I transferred out. Roy Jones slaps. I agree. Huni, let's go. Guys, we're going to learn a lot about these guys right here. We got Wardley, who I think is 30. We got Huni's 26. Huni, Wardley is the guy who's been tested. He has a draw on his record. Then he avenged it with a knockout against Fraser Clark. 18th Street and 2. No shit, dude. We might have been kicking it at the same spots. I used to kick it at Fatheads all the time. Do you remember Casey's with the midget? Midget Mondays. I tell people about this. Midget Mondays at Casey's on Carson Street. It's when Big Ben just got drafted. And his boy was a midget. And you would go to Casey's and they would pour you the midget would pour shots in your mouth. I don't even think we could say midget anymore. Little people. His name was Chris. Callum Simpson got floored. Is that fight over, Troy? Is it over? Did Callum lose or did he just get dropped? Chinchilla, small world. Yeah, and then I ended up playing baseball in South Carolina, which then took me out to Long Beach for the rest of my 20s. Okay, so the fight's not over. I love Pittsburgh, Chinchilla. I tell people Pittsburgh's one of America's best kept secrets. Getting beat up ain't shit. Yeah, James. James is a big Pacer fan, man. I can't believe Halliburton did it again. I went from hating the Pacers and hating Halliburton because I'm a Cavs fan to now cheering for them. Like, how they play is exceptional. They're fun to watch. And it's always a different guy. Some nights it's Nemhart. Some nights it's, when it's clutch, it's obviously Halliburton. The 6'11" guy shooting threes. Pascal, dude, you guys have a good squad. All right, here we go. Mark Jeffries got upset too. Yeah, massive favorite, Troy. I didn't bet on that fight. Someone getting dropped. Patience. If somebody gets dropped, I win my parlay. I just need someone to get dropped, and then for the sake of my credibility, I need Huni to win. Wardley isn't world level. Hand history vault. That's what I think too. XL baseball. So yeah, I played third base. Played shortstop and pitched in high school, and then got a scholarship to play third. I got Huni. But I also played football and basketball. I grew up in the mid northeast Ohio, so an hour south of Cleveland in a town called Youngstown, where it was normal. All my boys, we played 3 sports year round. Everybody played football, baseball, and basketball, and some of us boxed. So some of us did all of it. So I have a whole group of friends who did the same thing. Some went to school. Some went to jail. Some didn't make it out. I know I have a buddy who served 20 years in the pen for shooting up a house. So yeah, I always stayed away from guns. Ever been? Yeah. Oh yeah. Nelson Ledges is that was our like summer when the weather would break. We'd go up there. All the hippies would be smoking green. Cats would be doing mushrooms up there for sure. Nelson's Ledges, very popular where I come from. They used to have a festival every year in the summer. Good people, mate. I love where we come from. I go back every year. Justice Huni, this is a fight, mate. I think a lot of people were kind of salty that Jarrell Miller pulled out. But when I saw Huni put his hand up like this, I was like, dude, I think fight fans are in for a better treat. All right, guys. I'm getting antsy since the late 90s. Chinchilla, man, with such a small world, I bet you we've crossed paths. Even with that said, I think Wardley and I think so, History, I think so. Especially how he was able to end the show. Because even though it happened in the first round, he got clipped. Clark got hurt. I don't want to say it hurt Wardley back, but stunned him. It was like a battle of uppercuts in that first round. And then Wardley, what took you to Australia? XL, I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada in 2013. I was bartending on the Strip at Planet Hollywood right after grad school. And I met a girl who was a flight attendant from Sydney. And we hooked up once, got her number. She said, come visit me. I went to visit her. And then I came back to Las Vegas and just applied for my residency because I was like, damn, Sydney is beautiful. Let me move there. And I moved here. And now I'm a resident. So I'm a resident here. And obviously I'm American. I started a fitness business in 2016 in Australia. They have their processes. You're not allowed, as a foreigner, you have to go through the processes. What was his name? I've done my time through Sydney. What was his name? What was his name? Eleni. Her name was Eleni. Fabio looks like Pepe the soccer player. Hey, that's not a bad shout. Wardley ends it round 6. Guys, this is nerve-wracking. Good one, Patience, for sure. Yeah, you gotta have a sense of humor. She was Greek, so they say the Greek ladies, no offense, they don't age that well, so. But she was naughty. The crowd is insane. Here we go. Look at Wardley. Wardley's such a dog. He doesn't even set up his backhand. His jab is here, and he's just throwing bombs. Oh, Wardley's going to try to knock him out early. All right, guys. Pardon if I don't get back to all these comments. Callum got dropped again. Zuko out here balling. Wardley is not even setting his backhand up. Most often, I mean, you're taught to tap, tap, then throw. He's just here, throwing it. All right, Huni lands a nice jump-in jab. The thing that I'm most impressed with Huni is how soft he is on his feet. He has good bounce, good step, good understanding of his opponent's lead foot. Nice predictability, slipped out of the way of Wardley's lead hook. And guys, if you don't know him, it takes a lot of energy to punch and miss. So Huni does that really well. He makes his opponent miss really well. But with a big puncher like Wardley, you miss until you don't, right? All right, you already see Huni's game plan. Huni's game plan right now, high guard, drawing out that first punch from Wardley, and then Huni's level changing and going to the body, which I like. Huni stuns him with a jab. This is a nice little exchange, guys. We got ourselves, you could already tell in the first 90 seconds, we got ourselves a little chess match with dynamite in hands. And they're already in the center. They're fighting right there for lead foot battle. You know, Huni's trying to get his lead foot on the inside of Wardley's lead foot, and both guys are trying to circle away from each guy's power. So because they're both orthodox fighters, both have their backhand, their right side power, what they're doing is circling away from it. Huni steps in, lands a nice liver shot, engages. Wardley wants nothing to do with it. Huni now has Wardley against the ropes. But we know nice body work nice counter right hand by Huni. So you're already seeing the class of Huni being able to level change, work the body, and then finish up top. But like I said, all of that is good until you get hit with that power. And it already looks like that nose is cut on Wardley. I know he got it broken against Fraser Clark. I don't know if that is scar tissue, but it looks like it's cut. Yeah, you're really seeing in these exchanges with 40 seconds left the difference in class of technique. Huni, the technician, versus Wardley, the one-punch guy. And Wardley only turned pro in his early 20s. We know that. Big right hand by Huni. 20 seconds left. If you're a Huni fan, you got to like what you see so far. The real mulatto, what's up? The crowd is loud. 10 seconds left in the first round. In terms of game planning, that's a Huni round. Huni did exactly what we wanted to do. 3, 2, 1. Oh! They both land in the center. Round 1 done. Justice Huni looks good. That's all I'm going to say. Justice Huni looks real good. And this is... We don't know how this is going to end. But what you just saw in that first round is why I picked Huni to win this fight. We don't know what's going to happen. But if people who are unknown to him, this is why Huni fans picked him to win this fight. The world doesn't know. The dude is a skilled heavyweight. And he's there to fight you. Now, the Kevin Verena fight, he got wobbled, late, got wobbled late. Didn't have to put himself in that position, but he did because he's there to fight you. The sparring footage that came out, he got dropped. He got wobbled there. He got wobbled there. In that last exchange, Huni got wobbled. I didn't see it initially. Guys, Huni got wobbled in that last exchange at the end of the first. It is a 1-0 Huni round. He's recovered. But there was an exchange that I didn't see because I was running my mouth. But Wardley landed a nice little hook, and Huni's legs were a bit soft. And Wardley's trying to pick up on that. The beginning of the second round. All right, Huni has to regain his composure. I like the adjustment Wardley has made. That's his first level change of the fight. Rather than headhunting, he drops the level, hits a jab to the body. You can't just headhunt against an operator like Huni. You have to show him different looks. High guard by Huni. Elbows in tight, doing everything well. Nice body rip. So if you guys are watching with a boxer's eye, watch all the looks and feints Huni does versus Wardley. And at the world-class level, you can't just have one entrance. You can't just show the same entrance. I always bring up the Charles Conwell fight against Chinito, and that was Conwell's undoing. Conwell only had that one entrance. Chinito picked up on it, and he beat him on the cards. At the world level, you have to throw jabs at different angles. You have to do different feints. You have to do foot feints. You have to do head feints. Right now, Wardley only has one entrance. Here, and everyone knows what he wants to do here. Nice left hand by Huni. I think that Wardley could maybe make an adjustment and maybe counter Huni a bit more because Huni is aggressive. And when you're a big puncher, if you're not going to outbox the guy, maybe you use that aggression against your opponent to then walk him onto something. And if I was Wardley's corner, that's what I'd be looking for. Because when Wardley tries to get on his front foot, Huni's winning those exchanges. Yeah. And look how Huni's winning the front foot battle too, guys. Basically making Wardley fight him at his range and his pace. That front foot battle depicts where the fight is taking place. And Huni's putting Wardley back against the ropes, controlling the center, and doing what he wants to do. We'll see how long he could do that for. That's why, it's so... Yeah, it was from 4 years. I know. History, I was just kind of ticking the boxes and bringing up the naysayers' reasoning. It was from 4 years against a domestic guy, too. And Huni's only 26 years old. Remember, guys, at the weigh-ins, Huni weighed 20 more pounds heavier than Wardley. Dude, it's stressful though watching every exchange because the fight can end in every exchange. I like Huni's high guard here, especially when he's entering. That's one of the differences I see, like I already told you, is you teach day one, guys, when you're teaching the sport. Day one in boxing, you teach your fighter never to throw their backhand naked. You always want to set, especially as a right-handed fighter, you always want to set your backhand up with at least a feint. If you're not going to pop a jab, at least a feint. Wardley, because it's worked for him his entire career, 18-0, 17 knockouts, 1 draw. He's throwing his backhand without setting it. He's throwing it naked because it's always worked for him. And, doing things wrong technically will work for you until it doesn't. And this is kind of the minutia of the art of boxing. And that's 2-0 Huni. But like I said, whenever you got power, you got to kind of look at Huni's corner akin to maybe when we watched Wilder's Ascension, when Wilder would just give rounds away. But Wardley's corner, I mean, Wardley is way more active than Wilder had ever been. Patience, appreciate you. What's up, Jose? Round 3, guys. Huni's up 2-0. Wardley popping his head up. Huni going to look out the potential headbutt. Yeah. And he got warned. Did he get warned? All right, guys. During the rounds, I apologize if I'm not responding to the comments because I'm watching. Huni's once again taking control of the center with his lead foot. Setting. Oh! Jab to the body. Jab up top. Oh! Big left hook by Huni. Big right hook by Huni. Wardley counters back. Wardley's back's on his ropes again. The fight is happening right now. The fight is happening in Huni's wheelhouse. But like I said, Wardley has heavy hands. So far, Huni's able to avoid and evade everything. I like the body work Huni is investing in. He's sneaky right there. I love that lead hand, body head. That's also day one stuff when you're teaching guys to hit pads. Wardley can't time Huni. Yeah, because Huni is skilled. Huni's showing a lot of looks. Huni's lead side liver head is so quick as a heavyweight. I mean, you have to think that Wardley hasn't seen a guy like that with that skill set. I mean, I don't know. It's well documented Wardley has sparred with the best heavyweights. But, I mean, the energy and the action he's seeing from Huni, this 26-year-old Olympic Aussie, I don't know how many guys he sparred with that skill set. I don't know how many guys out there with the skill set of Huni. We'll see if the durability is there. Oh, big right hand to the body. 90 seconds left in the third. Wardley, I'm not saying is showing signs of frustration, but I don't like his body language. Big jab, big hook by Huni. Guys, right now, with a minute left in the third, Huni is doing what he wants with Wardley. Yeah, I don't want to say, I don't like the body language with Wardley. And every time Wardley loads up with the right hand, Huni sees it coming and slips. Wardley, big left hand. Huni's, oh! Wardley with a big hook. Huni's fighting him in the pocket. Wardley's showing you something. They're exchanging against the ropes. Wardley needs to move his feet. 42 seconds left, guys. We have a slug fight. Oh, big shot by Wardley. He's back in this fight. Huni's taking some shots. Huni has to move around. Wardley's right back in this fight, throwing big shots. 30 seconds left in the third. Whoa! Wardley gets caught with the left hand. Wardley needs to move his feet more. Huni, 20 seconds left. Wardley just punched his way back into this fight. Neither guy has been down. Big right hand by Huni. 15 seconds left. Huni pushes Wardley against the ropes. Big left hand. Body work by Huni. Wardley clinches. Big left hand by Huni. Oh, it's a big right hand. Jesus. What a round. God damn. Sorry, guys. Most of you guys never see this version. This is why I don't watch fights in public. This is how I've always been. Long before YouTube, even when my boys want to go watch boxing or UFC in public, I tell them no. I have always watched fights in my own living room because, yeah, a lot of people... 2-1 Huni. Yeah, that was a fun round. What do we see? We saw Wardley. You know what I've seen from Wardley there? He doesn't fight that bad off the ropes. He got stuck in the cement a bit. I want to see him circle away though. Huni got more in the tank. You know, with Wardley, he needs to, when his back is on the ropes, he's playing into Huni's game. Huni wants Wardley to get comfortable on the ropes. That's a trap he's trying to set. Huni wants Wardley to think he's safe there. Wardley needs to circle out, maybe exchange once or twice on the ropes, and then circle right or circle left. Don't just stay there. Round 4 starts more of the same. They're throwing bombs. What a fight. No one's down yet. I need a knockdown. Ooh, nice slip by Huni. Huni shows that footwork. I like Wardley's energy this round. Ooh, Huni with the nice jab. Oh, whoever's just commentating is insane. They have Fabio 2-1 up. That's insane. Carl Frampton, you're out of your mind. Frampton gave Wardley rounds 1 and round 2 is insane. Frampton gave Wardley rounds 1 and 1-2 and gave Huni round 3. I have it opposite. I gave Huni rounds 1 and 2 and gave Wardley 3. Maybe me and Frampton are watching 2 different fights. That's insane. My old boxing coach actually fought Carl Frampton I think it was in Belfast. Oh, big right hand by Huni. Luke Jackson. My old boxing coach here was an Aussie Olympian named Luke Jackson. Big right hand. Huni's popping off. Wardley returns fire. Yeah, he fought Frampton in front of 80,000 people and got stopped in the 9th. It was a good fight. Dude, there's some really high-level exchanges here. 90 seconds left in the 4th. Thanks, Patience. 90 seconds left in the 4th. The fight's happening in the middle of the ring. Finally, Wardley's trying to establish the jab. It just doesn't have the same pop on it. Wardley's jab doesn't have that, sort of sting to it. There's no little whip to it. It's more like here. Wardley pushes his jab, and Huni snaps it. That comes with drilling, though, man. That's a technical thing. That's not a skill thing. Huni would big left hand by Huni. The thing about Wardley, what I really like, is every time Wardley gets hurt, he fires back. Wardley's a dog. Even though I picked Huni to win, I'm a Wardley fan now. Wardley's a dog, dude. That's his biggest attribute is his toughness. Huni's body work is gonna pay dividends, boy. We started Huni. Huni was invested. Now Wardley's trying to go to the body. Not the same sting to it. Oh shit. Huni's looking good here. Huni's breaking Wardley down. Of course he's winning the fight. Carl Frampton's a retard. No offense. 15 seconds left. And look at Huni's feet. What Huni does really well too, especially for a heavyweight. How often do you see a heavyweight exiting the pocket slightly? Big counter from Wardley. Exiting slightly and then coming in off an angle to throw a hook. You never see that. So they're fighting on a line, right? Huni is exiting the pocket and then stepping out with his lead foot to change the angle on a hook. 3-1 Huni for sure. And it's that body work that, when Wardley gets hit with that lead hook to the liver. So I'm not assuming anything, guys. The liver is under our right pec. So if you grab your right chest, right under there, there's a shut-off button. My bad. You can't take me in public. See, if you guys only know me from my produced videos, different version of me. I have to be in the pocket. Let's go, Huni. Yeah, so right under the right pec, when you see guys crumble, that's a liver shot, mate. You ask most fighters, they'll rather get hit here with a punch they see than there. And Huni's been targeting that liver since round 1. And what he's been doing, which is smart, is he's touching the liver and then coming up top with the lead hook. FanDuel and ESPN was on some BS with my passwords. David. All right, Wardley's coming out with a good... I like what I've seen the start of each round from rounds 4 and 5 with Wardley. I like the energy, popping the jab. But Huni leaning on him. Guys, that weigh-in, Huni was 20 pounds heavier, and he definitely looks bigger than him. He's probably put on another 15 pounds since weigh-ins. But this is dangerous waters for each guy. Like, Huni needs to mind his P's and Q's. All right, Huni just missed with that counter. Wardley with a big uppercut. Huni responds back. Yeah, if people thought that this fight was just going to be like a one-rounder, those guys didn't know these guys. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people in some of the blogs were saying that Wardley was going to wash Huni in one round. And I was like, have you ever seen Huni fight before, mate? That was not going to happen. Good body work by Huni. And I like what Huni's doing both sides of the body. He's not just throwing his left to the body. He's throwing his backhand to the body. Big liver, that hurt. 90 seconds left in the 5th. Guys, wherever you are, like this video. After this fight, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go train, and then I'm going to come right back for the top rank card. It's 7:30 in the morning here in Australia. Wherever you are, I welcome you to my living room. Big liver shot. Big right hand to the body by Huni. What are you doing, ref? That wasn't low. Come on, ref. 1 minute in the fifth. 1 minute left in the fifth. Nice step in jab by Huni. Wardley's breathing a bit heavy out of his mouth. His left hand is down. Oh! You can just tell Wardley is a heavy-handed guy how he throws his shots. Big right hand by Huni. Big left hand by Huni. Big right hand by Huni. Big left hook! 30 seconds left in the fifth. Wardley needs to get off the ropes. Wardley needs to use his feet to circle out of there. I don't know if he has it in him, though. Look at the game plan. Dude, this game plan by Huni is high level. What's up, PJ? PJ, round 5. I have Huni up after this round 4-1. 15 seconds left in round 5. All right, that's 5. I got a 4-1. So Simpson's controlling the fight, but you said Simpson got dropped twice. I'm trying to go back and forth. All right, end of round 5. I got Huni 4-1. And this is exactly why I've watched Huni fight his whole career right out of the amateurs. Since he went pro. This is why I predicted him to win. His boxing acumen, what he does with his feet. The levels, when people say there's levels to this game, in boxing, what they mean isn't only this tool set, isn't the physical power, the speed. It's showing different looks, throwing punches at different angles, head feints, foot feints, being able to use your feet, being able to cut angles. You rarely see a heavyweight do that. Huni does all that. Huni ticks all those boxes. And we're learning a lot. There's a long way to go in this fight. And we're learning about the durability because Wardley has caught Huni flush a few different times. Yeah, but I really think the body work from round 1, the very first exchange, Huni started investing in the body. And every time he lands that left to Wardley's right side of the body, Wardley's body language kind of drops a bit. And then what he's doing really well is he touches the left and then finishes up top, same side. So you break down your opponent. You want them to drop their guard to protect the ribs and then come up top. Round 6, guys. And I like Wardley's game plan from the 3rd round on. If you've noticed, Wardley starts each round. Big left hook by Huni. Wardley starts each round with trying to control the center with his jab, but he only does it for the first exchange, and then the rest of the round takes place where Huni wants the round to take place. Big left hand by Huni. Dude, Carl Frampton's out of his mind with his scorecard. Carl Frampton's out of his mind. That's insane how he's scoring this fight. Nice jab by Huni. 2 minutes left in the 6th. Right hand to the body by Huni. Huni's punch, like, big left hand. Notice how many punches Huni misses. Huni doesn't miss a lot. So what does that tell you guys? Punch placement. Huni's punch placement and his accuracy. With Wardley, he overswings a lot, gets caught on his front foot, misses. That comes down to class, though. And like I said, he's gotten away with it until you don't. Oh, nice jab by Huni. 90 seconds left in the 6th. Yeah, Frampton's had too many pints. Guys, there's a minute left in the 6th round. A little bit, of the first 5 rounds, this round 6 has been kind of a slower pace. They're not like taking it off, but it's not as high impact. This fight's been taking place at a high volume, so especially for heavyweights. Huni's kind of, circling around the ring now. And I said this in my breakdown that Huni uses the whole ring. And he's doing that in this round. Why is that important? Using the whole ring, especially if you're a mover, gives you more opportunities to cut angles It also gives you opportunities to kind of find a moment of sort of respite or a moment of breath. 20 seconds left in the sixth. Oh, big right hand. But that's where Wardley's dangerous. Obviously, we know that when he could catch Huni in a firefight. If Huni's smart, he could box like this the whole fight. All right, the last half of this fight, are we saying Wardley in the UK Wilder? Does he beat Wilder? 5-1. Yeah, 5-1 Huni. Does Wardley beat Wilder? Let's see what type of Wilder we get against Herndon. Wilder's fighting in the next month or so against Herndon. We'll see. Wilder in his prime starches Wardley. Sorry. I'm just saying. Wilder's come up was insane. They said Huni got no power. Yeah. Come on, Mr. Flash. Come. You saw my prediction. I've watched Huni's whole career. Guys, I don't know. I don't have the most subscribers on YouTube. I just hit 25,000. But I know there's channels that way bigger than mine who just talk rubbish. Even if Huni loses this fight, guys, you've seen in Huni why Aussies are high on him. Like, anything could happen in this division. Huni could get caught. He could get stopped. But you see why people are high on Huni. As a 26-year-old heavyweight, not even in his physical prime yet, the skills Huni has are ridiculous. Look, round 7, hand feinting, big right hand by Huni. Huni has good feet. Oh! Ooh! Big shot to the body. Wardley engages, clinches up. The ref breaks him up. 2.5 left in the 7th. Once again, Huni's controlling the center, puts Wardley's back against the ropes. Why is that important? Because as a big puncher, you lose power backing up. As a big puncher, you want to be on your front foot. How do you negate somebody's power as a big puncher? You set the jab up and force them back. You force them to fight at your range, and you push them back. They don't have as much power backing up. And Huni's game plan, that's what we're talking about, has been on point. Now, you could have a great game plan and not execute it, but that just goes to show you Huni is a fighter. 2 minutes left in the 7th. Big body rip to the body. Come on, ref. That was not low. You're not taking a point. The ref is kind of get control. Something happened. What are we doing? Is that a mouthpiece? There's a pot. Oh, so Huni's mouthpiece was gone. 2 minutes left in the 7th, guys. There was a pause in the action. Huni I didn't see what happened. Huni either lost his mouthpiece or didn't have it in. Which is... All right, 90 seconds left. That was low. Take a point. Come on, PJ. I don't like... PJ, my point, I don't like when the ref becomes part of the narrative of a fight. That's it. The ref is there to, control the ring, but not become part of the narrative. When you start taking points, I don't know. I didn't see any blatant low blow. Nice head movement by Huni. A minute left in the 7th. There's still a lot of time, guys. Nice jab by Huni. You're starting to see swelling on Wardley's face under both eyes. And in terms of being able to box like this, I think Huni could do this for 10 more rounds. It's just going to come down to, can Wardley bait Huni into a dogfight and catch him with a big shot? And the world-class, world champion, Hall of Fame boxers, they don't play that game. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that game. We'll see if Huni has that in him. We'll see if Huni's cut from the same cloth. Because we know Australia is not known historically for heavyweights. Big right hand. Huni's poured it on, guys. And Wardley clinches. Wardley's getting beat up, guys. We're going to learn about Wardley. Is he comfortable with just getting beat up and losing a decision, or will he go out on a shield? Look, there's what I'm talking about. Wardley swings and misses. Class. Oh, big right hand counter by Huni. Catch and counter. Wardley's on the ropes. Yeah, Wardley's body language is not good. All you got, I'm not talking until it's over. I'm not saying easy money until it's over. You know my prediction on this, boys. And you know everyone was saying, I'm not even gonna say what I'm gonna say yet. I'm gonna wait till it's over. What game plan is Wardley? Like, guys, Ben Davison. What's Wardley's game plan? What's Huni's game plan? We can see Huni's game plan. Simpson won by stoppage. All right, so damn, Callum Simpson's a dog who could get dropped and win by stoppage. Simpson should get a world title shot. Wardley looked wobbled there. I mean, when you're talking about camps, you got to start. You got to, when you're as a fan, you have to ask yourself, you know, game plans. What is this camp historically known for, right? Think about Robert Garcia. What are his fighters historically known for? Body punches, breaking the body down, volume. When you know, it's a question you got to ask yourself when there's big fights like this. With Huni, I told you guys in my breakdown what they were known for. The game plan. I told you his amateur pedigree, how he could box. I told you he'd go to the body. I told you he would break him down. With Wardley, what is Wardley's game plan? What's Wardley's game plan? To land a big punch. In my breakdown, I said, how do you negate that? Circle away from the right hand. It's not rocket science. In this show, the fight, look, Wardley misses again, and what's happening is every time Wardley misses with the right hand, Huni counters. Why is Wardley missing with the right hand? He's not setting it up. It's so he telegraphs his right hand. He's thrown from the first exchange, guys. Wardley has thrown his right hand naked, meaning that there's nothing in front of it, no feint. It's here. Huni sees it, slips, counters. Oh, Huni versus. Let Huni get this victory. Let this fight still needs an outcome. We never want to count. You never want to count your chips at the table. Didn't you guys hear Kenny Rogers' song, "The Gambler," or the remix with Wyclef Jean? You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. So when you're sitting at the table, this fight is not over. We'll be in the comments saying, taking souls for saying Wardley was going to be. Y'all, what's up, patience? Guys, like this video. It's 7:50 in the morning in Sydney. I've been going live since 6 a.m. Hopefully, I'm going to take a break after this. I got to go train. It's not over yet, PJ. This fight is not over. I'm going to come back for the top rank card. But it's not over. But, guys, if you're a Fabio Wardley fan and you're watching his body language and you're watching the narrative of this fight, what's up, Meme? And you're watching Huni's game plan, I mean, what you guys are just hoping for a big shot. You're just hoping for a big right hand. But Huni, Wardley swings and misses again and gets countered. Yeah, Huni paced himself. I see it. And Huni did this in the 6th round too. Big right hand by Huni. Oh, big right uppercut by Huni. 20 seconds left in the 8th. Oh, the announcers are finally saying what I was telling you boys in round 1. Everything Huni throws, he disguises. You can see that you can see that in his fight tape, guys. You didn't have to wait to the 8th round of this Wardley fight to know how Huni boxes if you did your film study. All right, guys. Wardley looks tired because Huni has beat that man up. Huni has broken the body down. These are those later rounds. I'm sorry, this fight is over. Wardley's not going to outbox him. There's nothing on his power shots. Mo Price. Hopefully, you guys, we'll see what happens. I don't want to get too excited yet. This will put me right back in the game. Koki, you give Wardley props. Any fighter who makes the decision, we tip our hats to, don't we? Wardley pushes his punches, doesn't even crack properly. James, and that's what you see the seasoning, right? You see the class of the quality of work. The old timers used to say. Who was it? Bert Sugar, old timer, dude. If you watch old ESPN films, He talk about that raspy voice, the class of his work. The class of his work. That's what they mean. Yeah, Wardley has swelling over both eyes. I don't, the nose is obviously damaged from that Fraser Clark fight. Huni, the body work. This is round 9 of 12. We're going to see if both guys train for a 12-round fight. Wardley's taking a lot of damage, guys. Huni got cracked maybe once or twice. The thing about Huni is he's very defensive sound. Here. Wardley's more of a guy, you see in the streets with that lead hand down, fighting kind of like a lightweight. You have to be here. 2 minutes left in the 9th. Once again, Huni's whole game plan, guys, starts with that front foot. Front foot. Wardley lands a big shot. The crowd kind of shows life for the first time in 7 rounds. 2 minutes left in the 9th. Notice that little prodding style that Huni is doing with the front foot, and he's going tap, tap, jab. So that's a timing thing. If you're Wardley, you're trying to time that. So when they're in the middle and Huni's trying to walk Wardley against the ropes, watch his timing with his front foot. He'll tap the front one, and then he throws the jab. And if Wardley is looking for that, he could time that. But that comes down to seasoning. That comes down to fight IQ. Tap, tap. He's doing it every time. So Justice Huni, for future opponents, you would be watching this tape and you're picking up tells that Justice has. Every fighter has a tell. Every fighter has tells. It just comes down to, are you good enough to make him pay for it? What Huni's showing a lot of, and it's working because Wardley hasn't answered it yet, right? You're going to keep going to the well if they're not making you pay for it. But watch, front foot, tap, tap, high guard, uppercut. So he uses the front foot for his rhythm, Huni. Walk forward, jab. Walk forward, body rip. So what you want to do is right before that second step, you want to try to counter it up top or catch him coming in. But Wardley doesn't see it. And when you guys watch this tape, we can break it down too. Yes, there are levels. And this is why the casual, what my whole goal on my channel is to highlight things like that. It's not just odds. It's not just knockout to win ratio. It's how do they box? Wardley doesn't like guessing, so Huni put him in hell. I know. Huni, great quote, Koki. Wardley does not look like he's having fun in there. Wardley does not look like he's having fun. All right, and the announcers are pulling at strings right now. The announcers are trying to everyone in this place. This is Ipswich. This is Wardley's hometown football stadium. Everyone there wants Huni to lose. And Huni, the traveling soldier, I told you guys in my video, the Aussie traveling soldier isn't doing any of it. Huni's right to the body is so tactical. Yes, and with heavyweights, guys, why Koki, that's so significant is because against another orthodox fighter, that right to the body leaves you open for your opponent's lead hook up top. But Huni's feints are so good and he hides it so well, he gets Wardley frozen and then he throws it. You know what I'm saying? So he's not just going here because he could get countered with the left to the top. He's hiding it, level change, then he throws it. And then the minute Wardley answers that, Huni switches sides and then starts working the left side. Boxing, baby. This is the art of boxing. This is the sweet science. We don't really get to see 26-year-old heavyweights guys doing this. All right, round 10. Huni, once again, Huni goes into the round with no mouthpiece. Yeah, Frampton's on the piss. I think Frampton's on the bags too. Huni always go to the body. These guys never exactly Flash. I know. I think Frampton's on the piss and he's on the bags. Round 10, 2.5 left. All right. And I bet you the announcers bring up what happened to Huni against Lorena. They're probably going to say, when Huni fought Kevin Lorena in the 11th round, he got stunned, or the 12th round, so Wardley could do it, which is true. But can he do it? I don't know. I told you, Lorena's a tricky southpaw. Back to my point at the heavyweight division, a 26-year-old in the heavyweight division is a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are heavyweight. Huni's 26. He's not even in his physical prime yet. When you see all these things that he does, And in 2 rounds, he's going to be able to tick the box on durability because nobody's going to be able to say, oh, he's chinny. Well, okay, he went 12 with Fabio Wardley, who you guys said is one of the biggest punchers in the division, and he won that fight. So we'll see. It's too early to say that. I don't want to jinx anybody if you believe in jinxes. 90 seconds left in the 10th. Agent Cabiel's a good guy. Oh! Oh! Wardley drops Huni! Wardley drops Huni! 1 punch! It's over! The ref stops the fight! Oh my God! That's insane! There you go! I got my knockdown! What the fuck? That's insane! Who was talking about the counts? Who was talking about the count? The ref there's no count, they just called the fight off? That's insane! Ah! This is why you gotta love boxing. The jinx! Johnny the jinx, baby! Hey, I took 1 knockdown, I know, no count? That was, what the hell? The ref was like, nah, we good. We good. There ain't no count. That's insane. Huni was getting up. Told him it ain't over till it's over. I told you that, man. I told you that. Wardley caught him coming in and knocked him down. Not out cold, though. The ref just didn't do a count. That was insane. I mean, damn, did he get up? He got up. He got up, but the ref called it off. He was almost right. I got my money. That counts as 1 knockdown. I guys told you on the prop bet, someone's going to have a knockdown. Why aren't they talking about the no count? You got to feel for Huni, though, boys. You got to feel for Huni. Huni was winning every round. That is, we'll see what happens. Don't worry, guys. The ref saves Huni. Yeah, we'll see. That was insane. That was Deontay Wilder-esque. That was Deontay Wilder-esque, that 1 punch late. It's over. Yeah, I don't know, Carlos. What happened in the count? All right. I guarantee I'm ready for all the people coming in the comment section. I told you Wardley was going to win. Hey, that was a hell of a fight. When you wasn't reading the comments. I bet the fight ends. I wasn't. I was doing the fight. But sad to say, we up. We up. I picked. Okay, so he lands the right hand. He lands the right hand. Oh God, no count. We up though. Oh, but Huni didn't go out. He gets dropped. Yeah, I'm down to get roasted. I grew up clowning we all grew up roasting each other. We're good. Oh. All right, let's talk about the no count, guys. Starch, thanks, Wardley, for the bag. That's a miracle. Talk about a Hail Mary. That's the end of the football game when your team's down. That's that Washington Reds. That's we saw that in the NFL like week 4 with Washington. Why no count? I don't know. I'm waiting for them to even bring it up. No one's even talking about the count. I was saying the whole time, don't get... Dude, I said it too. I mean, I didn't say it was over. I said I didn't want to jinx it. Never betting on Wardley again. I had Wardley on separate save. Me too. He was winning every round. Wardley's skills ain't all that, but power's legit. Congrats on the knockdown. We up. We up on the knockdown. All right, guys, I got to dip. I'll be back in like an hour. We got more fights to go. You guys are awesome.